I think is a little bit of good news for all of us. Here we go.
An update on the billion-dollar lawsuit against UNRWA in New York. The UN Palestinian Relief Agency is being sued by dozens of Israelis who accused it of aiding and abetting the October 7th terror onslaught in southern Israel. A complaint was filed in the U.S. District Court in Manhattan 9 months ago now. The 101 plaintiffs include hostages, survivors of the Nova Festival onslaught, and families of people murdered during the terror rampage. It's alleged UNRWA knew some of its personnel were members of Hamas, that its staff had taken part in the terror attacks and had held Israeli people hostage. It's also alleged that UNRWA helped radicalize a Palestinian population into supporting terror against Israel through its textbooks.
We're trying to establish in this lawsuit that UNRWA really should not have done the actions that it took. This didn't need to happen. And they should not have provided the support that they did to an organization that had these self-professed goals for a long time.
We know that Yonatan Samarano was shot and abducted by an UNRWA employee on October 7th. We know that an UNRWA teacher held an 84-year-old hostage, Dietza Hyman, captive. And we also know now that Emily Damari was held captive in an UNRWA building. It seems the evidence is abundantly clear.
Well, in addition to that, we allege that the policies that were instituted at UNRWA, at the very top of the organization, not just individuals in Gaza, but the policies were designed to support Hamas. We've alleged that they built Hamas headquarters underneath the UNRWA headquarters, that they put rocket launchers in the UNRWA schools to protect them from attack, that they transferred $20 million a month in U.S. dollar bills to Gaza so that Hamas could use it for smuggling, that they instituted a jihadi curriculum on top of the regular curriculum. And so, we've alleged that it wasn't just individuals in Gaza, but that the leaders of this organization as a whole were enacting these policies.
Donald Trump's views on agencies like UNRWA. What does it look like from your vantage point?
From my very narrow vantage point, the Trump administration, they filed a letter in our case. They've asked for additional time to review the position regarding immunity that the previous administration took. So we're hopeful that they will change that position and support our position in the lawsuit.
Could you have gotten two worse people to do an interview?
Well, I know.
Wow.
Well, it's foreign news, and you don't see that in-depth interview here. But basically, the United Nations organization that was supposed to be, pro-Palestine, they were behind the October 7th terror attack, and the Biden administration was actually supporting UNRWA and not supporting the Israelis who were victims. And I mean, we're talking about teachers kidnapping citizens. We're talking about bombs. We're talking about killings and murder. This is a UN organization. And we also know that there were many in the UN that were part of October 7th, and UNRWA, mainly from UNRWA. So this is mind-blowing, because who supports the UN? Who gives all the money to the UN? Hello? America. Do you see what's going on here? This is really getting to be crazy. For the first time, we're actually seeing with our own eyes how corrupt our government has been.
Of course. That's why every country gets blindsided all the time, because nobody opens their eyes.
But our news media, we're America, right? So we're having all these discussions about all these lawsuits and the legality and as I think it was Sean that said, when before Biden took office, these migrants were undocumented migrants. Now they're all documented. So documented, undocumented equals illegal. Well, documented doesn't equal illegal. So Biden changed that, right? We have lawsuits against getting rid of these people and giving them the same rights that we have. Who are these lawsuits funded by? These lawsuits are funded
Soros.
by our dollars.
No, dollar too, though.
Our dollars. George Soros has Open Society, but we have given him tax dollars. His not-for-profits have gotten tax dollars. Who got these migrants here? We did. Catholic Charities was on the other side, getting these documented, undocumented, illegals, whatever you want to call them, migrants, because that's what they are, getting them together on buses, getting them clothes, getting them food, making sure that they were able to cross the desert and the waters and everything else to get here to destroy us. Our own money was being used to destroy our country. So every single one of us has blood on our hands because we paid taxes, and they use those taxes to do the damage that we have in this country right now. And Doge is uncovering it all. It's crazy. Muslim invasion, 100%, Joe, 100%. The number one religious organization in the world, Muslim. And here's the problem, right? With Muslims is that with the Muslim organization is that anyone who isn't Muslim is an infidel. So they can't be inclusive because if you're not Muslim, you are therefore an infidel and they cannot interact. There's a problem. We have a problem.
Well, those are extremists because, like say, I have plenty of Muslim friends who don't even speak of their religion. It's just like being Catholic. You don't talk about it.
It says it in the Quran.
No, I understand.
You're not a follower of Muhammad. You're an infidel.
And there says many things in the Bible that we don't follow.
Well,
don't meet on Fridays.
But
what I'm saying is those are extremists, and they've actually outnumbered.
I get what
they're
you're saying.
outnumbering,
Right.
and it's bad because, like, Sammy's Muslim, but you wouldn't even know. She doesn't talk about it.
Yeah, you're right.
She's
right.
One of the,
I don't want anybody to think that we don't have tolerance or acceptance for the Muslims because we do. I mean, my brother from another mother is Muslim, but at the core of it, right, is that anybody that is not a follower of Muhammad,
and that unfortunately is what is infiltrating their own religion.
Okay, hold on. Mick 40. Didn't Trump cancel all of Biden's EOs? Yes. However, if you were here under the EO from Biden at the time, you're grandfathered in. You notice there are no more people coming over the border this way. The CBP1 app is now being used to take migrants who came here through it to send them back so that they can apply the right way. And I'm praying that Congress is going to codify some of the stuff that Trump is doing into law so that we have a new immigration system. Because it's just crazy how we're playing games with immigration. Really crazy how we're playing games. And they're not good games either. Migrants come here to work. Yeah, some do. But some come here. What happened across the world was they came to terrorize. Some came to work.
And it's funny when they all came, the ones that did come to work, they couldn't get their working papers. Why?
Say it again?
The ones that did come and want to work, that came here, the good ones, they couldn't get their working papers. Why?
Well, because you couldn't get your working papers because you couldn't get processed. You couldn't get your visas processed. I mean, it used to be. I'm
showing you the system. The system was broke. You let everybody in with no thought. But why? Why'd you let them in? Then the ones that wanted to work. Why? Because I'm telling you, it wasn't all of them. It was probably half that wanted to work.
Kevin Young says some churches are harboring immigrants. That's absolutely true. We had a chamber of commerce here in South Carolina that was working with a Christian church, to bring Biden's documented. I don't know what we should call them. Biden documented, migrants into the area, and our Congressman Russell Fry went ham on them and got the whole thing shut down, traced down where the money was coming from, dried it up, and got it all shut down. But it happened. It already, damage was done before you could undo the damage. The Democrats always say, Letitia, we are the Nazis. Absolutely, they do. Catholic Charities is also very involved. Super involved. Got a ton of money for that. The Muslim Brotherhood was with Hitler. Oh, isn't that interesting? I didn't know that. The overall religion is not inclusive, and they are not able to accept any other religion. Right. I mean,
and the Jews aren't, and the Catholics aren't.
I mean, I don't know. Is that true? It's true. The Catholics are not supposed to stay with Catholics. Jews are supposed to stay with Jews.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's every religion, but then there's the Reformed, and there's this, and there's that. There's all the New Age stuff, but that's what I'm talking about. Extremists. The extremists are the ones that just stick to it, and they're like, no, like absolutely not.
Well, those are fundamentalists, right? Like strict constructionists or constitutionalists. Those are fundamentalists. Yes, some come to work, some come for the free ride, and others come because, I mean, what happened with Venezuela? They let open their prison doors. Trump said it. Nobody believed him, and it was all turned out to be true.
And that's what Cuba did. See?
Yes. We're not talking about migrants, though. We're talking about terrorists. In this case, Tren de Aragua are terrorists. 9/11 terrorists were invited here with open arms. Yeah.
But the ones from Venezuela, they openly said they were sent here to do this.
Yeah.
The one that got caught shooting the cop gave everybody up, and nothing was done then until Trump got into office.
Yeah. Well, Sean makes a good point. Others came here and left their IDs on the other side of the wall. Piles of them. Most were burnt. Why was that? Fake names and no way to check.
They were fake. And why do you have 19 names? I'm dying to know when I asked my friend, why do you have 19 names? 3 last names. Why? Why? I don't get it.
Yeah. But we're not taught to kill on other religions. You're right. I mean, I don't know. The Quran doesn't say kill others, infidels, but they do say you cannot marry, you cannot procreate. You can, if you capture an infidel, if a Muslim captures an infidel, that infidel could be kept as a sex slave, a slave all around, but you can't marry. Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, 1933, was with Hitler. Interesting. Okay, let's see. I hate organized religion. Me too. Never known a Christian with a bomb suit. I agree. But it happens. But in other countries right now, just an FYI, Christians are being killed across the world suddenly. Across the world. Christians are being targeted for death. So,
as they were during the Holocaust. They were also killed.
Yes. Not in the same numbers of Jews as Jews.
No,
of course,
not at all.
But they were targeted during the Holocaust. So here we go again. No religion, just love God and love thy neighbor. Every war has been fought in the name of God because of organized religion.
Meanwhile, if you look at Jews and you look at Muslims, their religions are a lot alike.
All of us, though, Christians, Jews.
No, but
Muslims.
theirs especially. You can't eat pork. The fasting. They have the fasting. It's a lot alike.
Yeah. Well, look at.
It's all about land. That's all it is. It's all about land. That's all.
It's all about control.
Control of land. That's all it is.
Yeah, well, look at the Episcopalians, the Methodists. Look at all the
Catholics are the worst. We've sectioned out to 19 different ones.
Oh,
the 1900 different.
The Catholics were the worst for killing and war. I mean, when you think of all the popes that the war, I mean, the Catholic popes were in control of the kings. I mean, it was terrible. I mean,
and what were the WASPs? The WASPs were Anglo-Saxon.
Christian. WASPs were Episcopalian.
Anglo-Saxon.
White Anglo-Saxon. I'm sorry, Protestant. White Anglo-Saxon.
Anglo-Saxon Protestant. There you go.
Right. The more names, the more benefits and money. Good point, Joe. Well, if they came in under fraudulent names, they are definitely illegal. One would think, but who knows?
The Italians did it. They came over and changed their name to Sonny and this.
No. They changed our names as we came through. They changed our name. China's the worst. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Number 1 name in the UK is Mohammed. That's true. And in Dublin,
Ireland,
and in Dublin too. Some organized religion groups are terrorist organizations and cults. Yeah, I think a lot are.
All religions are cults.
Sean Miller says, Jen, you cannot go around speaking the truth. So stop that. This is a modern day crusade going on, but with the Muslim religion, eventually the Muslim religion will take over. Well, actually, Nostradamus said the yellow man will rule the earth.
And the Chinese are taking over Bay Ridge and Bensonhurst. So there you go.